On a gray Saturday morning, at a quiet bus stop on the edge of Seattle, three lives were about to collide. A single father, a 6-year-old girl with a heart too big for her small jacket, and a young woman clutching the last photograph of someone she'd lost forever. None of them knew it yet, but in a few minutes, a single sentence, "I think you need a hug. Can I hug you?" would change everything. If you love emotional, movie-like stories about unexpected kindness, second chances, and broken people slowly finding home again, hit subscribe to Extraordinary Stories, tap the like button, and turn on the notification bell right now so you don't miss the next story that might feel a little too close to your own heart. Because this one starts with tears on a bench and ends with a family. The bus stop on Rainier Avenue wasn't crowded that morning. Just one person sat on the cracked wooden bench, a young woman whose blonde hair was tangled around her face, wearing a thin hoodie and jeans that looked like they'd been slept in more times than she could count. Her name was Hannah Gray. She was crying, but not the loud, dramatic kind of crying people do when they want someone to notice. This was the silent kind, the kind that comes from so deep inside you that you're not even sure there are words left to match the pain. Her shoulders shook. Tears slipped down her cheeks and landed on the crumpled photograph in her hands. She held that photo like it was the last solid piece of her life, the only proof that the person in it had ever really existed. The photo showed two women at a small kitchen table, laughing at something just out of frame. One was clearly a younger version of Hannah, hair brushed, eyes bright. The other was older, with the same blonde hair and gentle smile. Her mother. "Daddy!" A small voice broke the quiet. A few feet away, a man was holding a little girl's hand as they walked toward the farmer's market down the street. It was their Saturday ritual. His name was Ethan Walker, construction worker, widower, hands calloused, heart tired but still stubbornly beating. His daughter, Lily, looked up at him, brown eyes wide with concern. "That lady's really sad," she whispered, tugging on his hand. Ethan glanced toward the bench. His first instinct was protective, not of the woman, but of his daughter. The woman's clothes were worn. Her backpack looked like it held everything she owned, the kind of person most adults learn to look past. "I know, Bug," he said softly, tightening his grip on Lily's hand. "Sometimes people need space when they're upset. We should keep walking." He gently tried to steer her to the far side of the sidewalk. Lily stopped, completely. Her small hand slipped out of his. "Lily," Ethan started, voice low, "let's not bother." But his daughter was already moving toward the bench with that little determined walk she got when she'd made up her mind. The young woman looked up, startled, as a 6-year-old in a yellow rain jacket came to a stop in front of her. Hannah's first instinct was to scrub at her face, wiping the tears away with the back of her sleeve, as if that might erase the evidence. "Hi," Lily said calmly. Hannah blinked. Hi." The little girl studied her with the kind of honest, unfiltered attention only children have. No judgment, just noticing. Then she tilted her head and said, clear and gentle, "I think you need a hug. Can I hug you?" Her arms were already opening. Something in Hannah's face broke. Fresh tears spilled over, but they were different this time, less numb, more aching. She let out a sound between a laugh and a sob. "Yes," she whispered. "Yeah, okay." Lily stepped forward and wrapped her arms around Hannah as far as they would go. Tiny arms, big hug. From a few feet away, Ethan froze. He watched his daughter hold this stranger with the same fierce tenderness she used on him when he came home exhausted from 12-hour shifts on scaffolding, too tired to do anything but fall onto the couch. "It's okay," Lily said, patting Hannah's back like she'd seen her father do. "My daddy says crying helps the sad come out so the happy can come back in." Hannah let out a shaking breath. A half-choked little laugh escaped her. "For a 6-year-old, your daddy's pretty smart," she murmured. Lily pulled back just enough to look at her, still holding on. "He forgets his coffee a lot," she said seriously. "But he's good at hugs." Hannah smiled. A small, broken, beautiful thing. Ethan approached slowly, every protective instinct awake, ready to step between them if something felt wrong. But it didn't. It felt sacred. "I'm sorry," the woman said quickly, realizing there was a man behind the child. She wiped her face with her sleeve. I didn't mean to." "No apologies," Ethan said quietly, sitting down at the far end of the bench, giving her space, but staying close. He gently guided Lily to sit in the middle, between them. "I'm Ethan," he said. "This is my daughter, Lily." "Hannah," she managed. "I'm Hannah." "That's a pretty name," Lily said approvingly. "Why are you sad?" "Lily," Ethan murmured, "that's a little personal." "It's okay," Hannah said, voice rough but honest. She looked down at the photograph still in her hands and held it out with trembling fingers. Lily scooted closer to see. So did Ethan, despite himself. The photo, the laughing women at the table, plates, a cake with candles. "Is that your mom?" Lily asked. Hannah nodded, her jaw tightening as if just saying the words out loud kept reopening the wound. "Yeah," she said softly. She was. She died 8 months ago. Pancreatic cancer. It was fast. Too fast. One day she was complaining about heartburn, and then we were in and out of hospitals and chemo, and then there wasn't any more time left to say everything I needed to say. Her thumb brushed the edge of the photograph gently, like she was afraid it might disintegrate if she pressed too hard. "Today would have been her 54th birthday," she added. The words hung between them like heavy rain clouds. Ethan felt something crack open in his own chest, that specific recognition you only feel when someone's grief sounds like your own, the way certain dates turn the calendar into a minefield. "I'm sorry," he said. There was no pity in his voice, just understanding. Hannah looked up at him, really looking this time. "You get it," she said softly. Not a question, a statement. Ethan swallowed and nodded. 3 years, he said. "Some days are easier, most aren't." Lily's small hand slipped into Hannah's. "My mommy went to heaven too," she said matter-of-factly. "Daddy says she's watching us from the stars." Hannah's eyes filled again, but this time there was a faint, watery smile. "What was your mom like?" she asked Lily. Lily's whole face lit up. "Daddy says she made the best pancakes ever, and she sang all the time when she was happy," she said. "Daddy says I got her eyes." Ethan put a hand on Lily's shoulder. He didn't talk about his late wife often. It still hurt, in a way that never fully faded. Lily looked between the two adults, then squeezed Hannah's fingers. "You look like you had a nice mom too," she said. "Did she like pancakes?" "She burned them half the time," Hannah said, a laugh escaping through the tears. "But she tried. She loved coffee and old musicals and farmers' markets. We went every Saturday, no matter what." "You don't go now?" Lily asked. "I can't," Hannah said quietly. "Not anymore." Ethan noticed the way her backpack slumped, half unzipped. The way her clothes were too thin for the cold. The way her eyes flicked around as if she was always scanning for danger. He also noticed the thing she wasn't saying. "Do you have somewhere to stay?" he asked gently. Hannah's jaw tightened. "Different places," she said carefully. "A shelter if there's space. Sometimes there isn't. Sometimes other spots." "What about food?" he asked. She didn't answer. Lily looked up at him with those big, knowing eyes. "Daddy," she whispered. "She's hungry." "I know, Bug," he said softly. He made a decision. "Hannah," he said, "listen. We're heading to the farmer's market downtown. That's where we were going when Lily saw you. Would you like to come with us? We can get some food. My treat. Lily never lets me pick good apples anyway." Hannah's shoulders tensed. "I don't want to be a burden," she said immediately. "Please come," Lily said, still holding her hand. "You can teach us the good apples. Daddy always gets the squishy ones." Ethan shot her an offended look. "Hey." Despite everything, a real laugh slipped out of Hannah. It surprised even her. "Okay," she said quietly. "I guess I'm an apple expert now." And just like that, an unlikely trio walked away from the bus stop together. A weary young woman, a tired single dad, and a little girl still holding tightly onto both of their hands. The farmer's market was alive with Saturday energy. Vendors called out over piles of apples and pears, fresh bread, homemade jam. The smell of coffee and cinnamon floated in the air. People walked by with reusable bags and sleepy dogs. Hannah's grip on the backpack strap tightened as they stepped into the crowd. For a moment, something like longing crossed her face. She remembered coming to places like this with her mother, debating over which apples were best, listening to buskers play off-key covers of old songs. Now, just being near it felt like standing outside of a life that no longer belonged to her. "Apple stand first," Lily declared. "Hannah has to show us the good ones." At the apple stall, something shifted. Hannah picked up a red apple, turning it in her hand with practiced ease. "Okay," she said, and her voice held a faint spark. "Here's how you tell." She pressed the apple gently with her thumb and handed it to Lily. "See how it feels firm?" Hannah said. "No soft spots. And look at the color. This kind should be a deep red with yellow streaks. That means it got enough sun." She lifted it to Lily's nose. "Smell here, near the stem. Does it smell fresh? Or a little weird?" Lily sniffed, scrunching her face, then nodded. "Fresh. That's a good apple," Hannah declared. "In the bag it goes." Ethan watched them, watched the way Hannah's shoulders relaxed as she slipped into teaching mode, the way Lily soaked up every word like a sponge, the way people around them moved on, not knowing anything important was happening 15 inches from the apple crate. "How do you know all this?" Ethan asked, genuinely curious. Hannah smiled sadly. "My mom grew up on a farm in eastern Washington," she said. "We came to markets every Saturday when I was a kid. She taught me all the tricks. Then I worked in a bookstore downtown, big one, with a cafe and a little produce corner from local farms. I used to do the Saturday Kids Reading Circle, then pick apples after." "You worked at a bookstore?" Ethan asked. "Yeah," she said. "Before." She didn't have to finish the sentence. Before she'd lost her mom, before the bills piled up, before she started slipping through cracks no one had built a railing around. "What happened?" he asked softly, as Lily trotted ahead to point excitedly at a street musician juggling. Hannah kept her eyes on the apples as she spoke. "My mom got sick," she said. "Pancreatic cancer doesn't mess around. It moves fast. She needed full-time care at the end. I used my sick days, then vacation, then started missing shifts. My boss said he understood, but corporate policies didn't. I was let go 3 weeks before she died." She swallowed hard. "After the funeral there was nothing," she continued. "No savings, medical debt. The rent went up. I sold what I could. Tried to get interviews, but it's hard when you don't have decent clothes, and you're too tired to pretend you're okay." She shrugged, but it was the heaviest shrug Ethan had ever seen. "Once you start slipping, the cracks just widen," she said. "A landlord who doesn't care, a job that falls through, an emergency room bill. Next thing you know, you're sleeping in a shelter when there's space, and under a bridge when there isn't." Ethan felt anger rising, not at her, but at the chain of things that had failed her. "I'm sorry," he said quietly. "That's a lot for one person to carry." "Life rarely asks if you're ready," she replied. "It just happens." Before he could answer, Lily ran back, powdered sugar dusting her nose from some nearby sample. "Can we get donuts, Daddy?" she begged. "The ones that are warm and smell like happy?" Ethan chuckled. "Yeah, Bug, we can get donuts." As they approached the donut stand, Hannah started to hang back instinctively, hand going to her backpack strap like a reflex. "You're getting one too," Ethan said gently but firmly. "I can't," she started. "When's the last time you had something warm and sweet?" he asked. She didn't answer. He ordered 3 donuts and 3 hot coffees, then handed one of each to her. "No arguments," he said. "I insist." Hannah took the donut with both hands, almost reverently. The first bite made her eyes close. The taste, warm, soft, covered in cinnamon sugar, hit something raw inside her. Gratitude, grief, hunger. It all tangled together. They sat on a low stone wall, while Lily watched a juggler perform nearby. Ethan stole glances at Hannah as she ate, at the way her shoulders eased, at the way she cradled the hot coffee like it was more than just a drink. An idea had been forming in his mind all morning. It was impulsive. It was risky. It was absolutely not the kind of thing responsible single dads did on a casual Saturday. And yet, it felt right. "Hannah," he said slowly, "can I ask you something? You can say no. You can tell me I'm out of my mind. But I want you to really think about it." She watched him warily, bracing herself. "Okay," she said. "Ask. I have a small studio above my garage," he began. "It's not fancy. It's 4 walls, a tiny kitchen, a bathroom, and a heater that rattles. The last tenant moved out 6 months ago. I haven't had time to list it again. It's empty, but it's warm." Hannah's eyes widened. "I can't pay rent," she said immediately. "I'm not asking you for rent," he interrupted. "I'm asking for a trade." "A trade?" she repeated. He nodded toward where Lily was now trying to imitate the juggler with 3 small rocks. "I work construction," Ethan explained. "Long days, early mornings. Lily's in after-school care until 6 most days. She hates it. It's basically a TV in a church basement with stale crackers. Her teacher says she's bright, but she's tired all the time." He took a breath. "I come home exhausted," he said. "Half the time I'm microwaving chicken nuggets and falling asleep during bedtime stories. I'm trying, but it feels like duct tape on a broken pipe." He turned back to Hannah. "You said you ran the kids' reading circle," he continued. "I watched you teach her about apples. You're good with kids. She already trusts you." He swallowed. "What if," he said carefully, "we did room and board in exchange for help with Lily? You'd have your own space, your own door that locks. In return, you pick her up from school, help with homework, make sure she eats something that isn't neon orange. No, babysitter feeling. More like someone she can rely on when I can't be there." Hannah stared at him like she wasn't sure he was real. "Why would you do that?" she whispered. "You don't even know me." He met her eyes. "I know you're educated," he said. "I know you loved your mom enough to lose almost everything to take care of her. I know you've been surviving things most people never think about. I know my kid has better instincts than any adult I know, and she walked straight up to you and offered you a hug." He paused. "And I know what it's like to need someone to throw you a rope when you're drowning," he added. "I had family show up when my wife died. If they hadn't, I don't know where I'd be. This is my way of paying that forward." Tears filled Hannah's eyes again, but they glowed differently now. "This is crazy," she said weakly. "You know that, right?" "Absolutely," he said. "But sometimes the best things start a little crazy." Lily rushed back over, breathless. "The juggler caught 6 things," she exclaimed. "Did you see? Did you see?" Her eyes bounced between the adults, intuition catching the tension in the air. "Is Hannah okay?" she asked. "Yeah, Bug," Ethan said. "We're just talking." "About what?" Lily pressed. "About maybe helping each other," Hannah said softly. Lily lit up. "Like when we give toys to the hospital kids?" she asked. "You say that's paying it forward." "That's exactly it," Ethan said. Hannah took a long, slow breath. "I don't have a phone," she admitted. "And no references. Powell's won't give me one after they let me go." Ethan pulled a crumpled receipt from his pocket and scribbled a number on it. "Do you know the downtown library?" he asked. "The branch on 23rd? Hannah nodded. "Lily and I go there every Sunday at 10:30 for story time," he said. "We'll be there tomorrow. If you want to talk more, find us there. If you decide this is too much, that's okay. No pressure. Offer stays open." Hannah folded the receipt with trembling hands, like it was a golden ticket. "Okay," she whispered. "No promises, but I'll try." Lily stuck out her pinky. "Pinky promise you'll at least think about it?" she asked. Hannah hesitated. Then she hooked her pinky with the little girl's. "I promise I'll think about it," she said. "That's the best I can do today." "That's enough," Ethan said softly. That night, after Lily was asleep with her stuffed bunny tucked under her chin, Ethan sat on the edge of his couch, staring at the TV he hadn't turned on. His brother texted, "You okay?" Ethan typed back, "I may have invited a homeless woman to live above the garage in exchange for helping with Lily. Please don't freak out until I explain." There was a pause, then, "Call me tomorrow. That actually sounds like something your wife would have done." He swallowed hard at that. "Yeah," he murmured into the quiet room. "It does." He went to bed, not knowing if Hannah would show up at the library, but for the first time in a long time, he felt something unfamiliar stirring under the grief and exhaustion. Hope. Sunday morning, the library smelled like old paper, crayons, and rain on jackets. Ethan checked his watch for the third time. "It's okay if she doesn't come, Daddy," Lily said, swinging her legs off the children's bench. "We still get stories." "I know," he said. "It's okay either way." He didn't entirely believe himself. At 10:27, the front doors slid open. Hannah stood there, hair damp but clean, wearing jeans and a faded blue sweater that had clearly been washed and dried somewhere that wasn't a river or a sink. She saw them. Her shoulders dropped with something like relief. Lily spotted her and practically launched herself across the children's section. "You came," Lily squealed. "You kept your promise." "I said I'd try," Hannah said, catching the little girl in a hug. "I'm here." Over Lily's head, she met Ethan's eyes. "Hi," she said quietly. "Hi," he replied. "I'm glad you came." Story time was about a lost cat finding its way home. Lily nestled between Hannah and Ethan on the rug, one small hand curled around Hannah's, the other resting on Ethan's knee. When it ended, they stepped outside into the cool Seattle air. "I thought about your offer all night," Hannah said on the library steps. "I barely slept." "That makes two of us," Ethan said nervously. "If you don't want to, that's okay. Really, I'll still help you however I can." "I want to say yes," she said, "but you need to know what you're actually getting." She took a breath. "I am not who I used to be," she said. "I have nothing right now. No savings, no references, no pretty interview outfit. I've been on the street for months and I'm different. I jump at noises. I don't always trust people. Some nights I dream about sirens and wake up thinking I'm still under the bridge." She shook her head. "I don't want to let you down," she said. "And I really, really don't want to let her down." She nodded toward Lily, who was carefully examining a leaf like it held secrets. "None of us are who we used to be," Ethan said quietly. "I'm not the man I was before my wife went into surgery. Lily's not the same little girl she was before she had to learn what heaven means." He offered a small smile. "Change isn't always bad," he added. "Sometimes it's just painful." Hannah looked at him as if she was trying to decide whether to trust her own instincts. "What if it doesn't work?" she asked. "What if I mess everything up?" "Then we adjust," he said. "We try something else. How about this? 1-week trial. You stay in the apartment, help with Lily, and we see how everyone feels. If you decide it's not for you, or if I feel it's not a good fit, no drama, no guilt. You leave with a little rest and a couple of warm meals in your system. Deal?" Hannah stared at him. "That's more than fair," she said. "That's kind." "So is that a yes?" he asked. She let out a breath she didn't realize she was holding. "Yes," she said. "It's a yes." "Yes!" Lily shouted, doing a little hop right there on the sidewalk. "Does this mean you're coming to our house now? We have a backyard, and a squirrel who thinks he owns it." "If your dad drives me," Hannah said. "I can do that," Ethan replied, relief softening his features. The garage apartment wasn't much. The carpet was old, the walls needed paint, and the heater clanged like a train when it started. But it had 4 walls, a lock on the door, a bathroom with hot water, and a small window that looked out over a patch of grass and a maple tree. To Hannah, it might as well have been a castle. She walked around the little space, touching everything. "This is," she said, fingers trailing along the kitchen counter. "This is perfect." "It needs work," Ethan said. "I'll get fresh sheets and some towels. The mini fridge works. Stove's a bit temperamental, but it listens if you talk nice to it." Hannah turned to him, eyes glassy. You have no idea, she whispered. I've been sleeping in doorways, on bus seats until security kicks me out, in shelters when there's room, a door that locks, a shower I don't have to share with 20 people. This is more than perfect. He swallowed hard. Then it's yours, he said. At least for this week. Let's see how it goes. That first week was strange and beautiful. On Monday afternoon, when Lily walked out of elementary school, she spotted Hannah waiting by the gate and broke into a run. You came, she shouted. I said I would, Hannah smiled. Come on, your dad left me a note. Homework first, then snacks. Do you know long division? Lily asked suspiciously. Because Dad says math is a work in progress. I can help with math, Hannah said, and reading, and science, and we're going to make your teachers very impressed. By Wednesday, Ethan came home to the smell of garlic and tomatoes. You didn't have to cook, he said, surprised to find pasta on plates and a salad on the table. I wanted to, Hannah said, and I saw your pantry. If you feed this child more fluorescent macaroni, I'm calling social services. Lily giggled. She made real sauce, Daddy, from real tomatoes. They didn't come out of a jar, and that scared me at first, but it's actually good. High praise, Ethan said. By Friday, Hannah knew Lily's homework schedule better than he did. She's reading above grade level, Hannah told him. She just needs someone to sit with her and let her sound the words out without rushing. Her mom was always reading, Ethan murmured. Whole stacks of books by the bed. Then we'll keep the tradition, Hannah said. The 1-week trial came and went. No one mentioned an end date. Weeks turned into months. The apartment got a fresh coat of paint. Warm cream instead of dull beige. Curtains appeared on the window, sewn by Hannah from clearance bin fabric. A thrift store bookshelf slowly filled with library cast-offs and donated paperbacks. Hannah picked up a few shifts at the library on Saturdays, helping with the children's corner. The head librarian quickly noticed her way with kids and pushed for more hours. Lily started reading out loud at bedtime, proud and animated. Ethan started coming home to a house that felt lived in, not just survived in. His toolbox wasn't the only thing in the corner anymore. There were crayons on the coffee table, a half-finished jigsaw puzzle on the sideboard, a smell of something other than microwaved leftovers in the air. One evening, months later, he came home early and stopped in the doorway to the backyard. Hannah and Lily were both covered in dirt, kneeling in a raised garden bed they'd built out of old boards. These ones need more sun, Hannah was saying. Tomatoes love sun. These herbs can handle shade. Lily looked up, face smudged, grinning. Daddy, look, she said. We're planting a whole salad. Ethan watched them, a strange tightness in his chest. Hannah's hair was pulled into a messy bun. There was a streak of soil across her cheek. She laughed at something Lily said, shoulders relaxed, eyes soft. For a moment, he saw a future that wasn't just him and Lily against the world. Hey, he called, stepping outside. This looks amazing. Your daughter is a natural gardener, Hannah said, pushing a stray strand of hair behind her ear. She didn't quit even when the dirt was hard to dig. I get my stubborn from Daddy, Lily announced proudly. I can't argue with that, Ethan said. They ate pizza on the back steps that night, watching the sky turn pink and gold behind the fence. After Lily had gone inside to wash her hands and make sure the soap understood the assignment, Ethan and Hannah sat in a comfortable silence. Thank you, he said quietly, for all of this, for her, for staying. She makes it easy, Hannah replied. She's a good kid. You helped bring her back to life, he said. After her mom died, she shut down, smiled for other people, but when we got home, she was quiet. She never talked about her mom. Half the time she pretended she'd never existed. Now she tells garden soil that Mom would like it. That's new. Hannah looked at him. You did that, she said. You kept going. You showed up. So did you, he countered. A soft breeze moved the leaves. Ethan, she said after a moment, can I ask you something? Anything, he said. What happened to your wife? She asked gently. You don't have to answer if it's too much. He stared at the fading light for a long moment. Routine surgery, he said finally. That's what they called it. Gallbladder. Quick in, quick out. They found a clot in her lung afterward. By the time they tried to fix it, it was too late. He swallowed. I had 45 minutes to say goodbye, he said. She was already sedated. I don't even know if she heard me. Hannah reached over and took his hand. She didn't say, "I'm sorry." She just held his hand, thumb brushing his knuckles, grounding him. I've been frozen since then, he admitted. Work, pick up Lily, sleep, repeat. Feelings were dangerous. If I opened that door, I was afraid I'd never stop crying. And now? Hannah asked softly. Now, he said slowly. I'm starting to feel things again. It's terrifying. Grief doesn't disappear, Hannah said quietly. It just changes shape. My mom used to say grief is like a heavy bag you carry. At first it drags on the ground and trips you up. Then slowly, you get stronger. You still carry it, but you can also pick up other things. Joy, small pleasures, maybe even love. The last word hung between them. He looked at her, really looked at her. At the woman who had walked into his life on the worst day of hers, and somehow made his house feel less like a tomb. He didn't say anything. He didn't have to. A year after the hug at the bus stop, anyone watching them would have assumed they'd always been a family. Hannah worked part-time at the library and took online classes to finish a teaching certificate. Lily's reading levels soared. The garden survived its first winter and came back in spring with herbs and wildflowers. They had Wednesday movie nights with blanket forts, Sunday pancakes where Lily tried to flip them herself, and sometimes launched batter onto the ceiling. But one person wasn't fooled. Lily. On a cool October afternoon, as they walked home from a school harvest festival, Lily between them, each of her hands holding an adult one, she looked up and said very calmly, "Are you two going to get married or what?" Ethan almost tripped. Hannah turned bright red. "That's not how this works, Bug." Ethan coughed. "Why not?" Lily asked. "You like each other. I can tell. We're already a family. You both tuck me in. You both yell at the TV during football. You both get sad on the same days. You should just know your faces look the same when you talk about Mom and about Grandma." Hannah choked on a laugh. "It's complicated," she said gently. "Because you think I won't be okay with it?" Lily asked, stopping on the sidewalk and turning to face them. "I miss Mommy every day. I'll always miss her. But she's not coming back. I think she'd want Daddy to be happy. And I think she'd want me to have someone like you." Ethan's throat tightened. "You're 7, he managed. "You're not supposed to be this wise." "Mrs. Carter says I'm emotionally perceptive," Lily said. "It's very annoying." She skipped ahead, leaving the two adults staring at each other. "Well," Hannah said eventually, "that was direct." "She gets that from me," Ethan admitted. They walked in silence for a few steps. "Hannah," he said finally, stopping under a tree. "What do you want?" She took a shaky breath. "I want to stop pretending I don't," she said. He frowned. "Don't what?" "Don't love you," she said simply. He blinked. "I thought I was the one with the dramatic speeches," he said, half laughing. "I'm terrified," she added quickly. "You have every reason to be afraid of loving someone again. I do too. I lost my mom, and my entire life fell apart. The idea of letting people that close again scares me senseless." She met his gaze. "But the idea of walking away from this scares me more," she said. "From you. From her. From the only thing that's felt like home in a long time." He looked like the air had been knocked out of him. "I've wanted to kiss you for months," he blurted. "I just didn't know if I was allowed to, if it would be fair. To you, to her, to everyone." "What if we stop worrying about fair," Hannah said softly, "and start worrying about honest?" He hesitated only a second. Then he stepped forward. Their first kiss wasn't fireworks and perfect angles. It was awkward and soft, and full of more history than anyone else would ever know. It tasted like shared grief, garden dirt, library books, and the sugar dusting he'd accidentally left on her cheek. When they pulled apart, both of them were crying. "I'm still scared," he said quietly. "Me too," she replied. "We can be scared together." That night, when they walked up the steps, Lily stood in the doorway, arms folded. "Well?" she demanded. "Did you kiss?" "Lily!" Ethan groaned. "Yes," Hannah said, laughing. "We did." "Finally," Lily said, throwing her hands up. "I was running out of stars to wish on." 2 years later, the garage apartment was just a guest room. Hannah's clothes hung in the main house. Her mug sat next to Ethan's by the coffee maker. Her handwriting filled notes on the fridge. On a warm Saturday at the farmer's market, Ethan knelt by the apple stand where it had begun to change. "Okay," he said, voice shaking just a little. "You once taught us how to pick the good apples." Hannah laughed, eyes already shining. "You still grab the mushy ones if I'm not watching," she teased. "True," he said, "but out of all the things I've ever picked in my life, you're the very best one." He pulled a small ring box from his pocket and opened it. Lily bounced on her heels. "Hannah Gray," Ethan said, "you walked into our lives on the worst day of yours and somehow made everything lighter. You loved my daughter before you believed anyone could love you again. You turned our house back into a home." He took a breath. "I will always carry my grief for Jen," he said. "That will never change. But my heart, it made room for you, for us, for new memories and new Tuesday nights and new garden seasons. Will you marry me?" Hannah covered her mouth with her hands. "Yes," she whispered through tears. "Yes, of course, yes." Lily flung herself around both of them in a hug. "I told you my hugs were magic," she said proudly. At their small backyard wedding a few months later, Hannah said in her vows, "A year and a half ago, I sat on a bench thinking I had nothing left. Then a little girl with a yellow jacket and a heart too big for this world asked if she could hug me. That hug saved my life. So did her father. You both remind me that the world, even when it's cruel, is still full of kindness and second chances." Ethan said, "You thought you were broken, but you were just bruised. You thought you were a burden, but you've been our blessing. I promise to hold your grief next to mine, not push it away. To make room for your memories the way you made room for mine, and to always, always pull you into a hug when you need one, even before you ask." Now, years later, if you walk past a bus stop on Rainier on some random Saturday, you might see a family of 3 or 4 on some days, heading to the market. A man with lines of laughter and loss on his face. A woman whose eyes no longer look like they're drowning. A girl who still believes hugs can fix almost anything. Sometimes they see someone sitting alone on a bench, crying the way Hannah once did. And more often than not, Lily, now older but still Lily, will slow down, look at her parents, and say, "I think they need a hug. Can I go?" And Hannah and Ethan will nod, because they remember exactly what one small act of kindness can do. If you've ever been the one on the bench, if you've ever felt invisible, broken, or like your story was over, please hear this. You are not invisible. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not a burden. Sometimes your whole life can shift because someone decides to stop, notice, and care. Sometimes that someone might even be you, offering the hug, the coffee, the kind word. Now I'd really love to hear from you. Have you ever had a moment where a stranger's kindness changed your day, or even your life? Or have you ever been the one who decided to stop and help, even when everyone else walked by? Tell your story in the comments. You never know who might read it and feel less alone. And if this story touched your heart, please subscribe to Extraordinary Stories, tap the like button, share this video with someone who needs a reminder that second chances exist, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next story.